Hey everybody. Okay, I am continuing with my car stories theme. If you recall, last week I posted a video with some stories from my childhood of things that had happened with my car, and I had gotten that idea from Christopher Mast. My light is falling apart, and I keep having screws fall out on the desk, and it just made another weird noise. I think it's about to lose another screw. One of these days it's going to fall on me while I'm videotaping. Okay, so this is pretty funny. I don't know if I could do this story justice, though, so I didn't put it in the first one. Well, first of all, I didn't want that other video to be too long, and second of all, I don't know if I can really convey this story, but I'm going to try. Okay, when I was a teenager, and I've said before, if you go back through my archives, Dee Morosky had asked why I had no accent living in Florida, and there's a story of why I have no accent. Now, I'll just let you go watch that rather than repeat it. But anyway, I don't want to talk like this, okay? It's tacky. That's long story short. Okay, so anyway, when I was living in Astor, which is this tiny little town of blink and you miss it, parents, don't do that to your kids. Don't move them to little towns like that when they're growing up. I would appreciate it now because it's really pretty. It's on the river. But as a teenager, no, there's nothing to do. The irony is my parents thought they were getting us out of Daytona, away from any bad influences, like move them out in the middle of nowhere. You know what? When you live in the middle of nowhere, believe me, you've got more free time on your hands to get in trouble. I won't elaborate, except for this car story. So, one night, a couple of friends and I had nothing to do, and I've got two computers here. I've got one here with The Sims and laptop behind me because I was voting for myself on the stare down contest. I know I'm jumping all over the place tonight. Okay, I'll stick to the subject now. One night, my friends and I had nothing to do, and there was a clay pit. Okay, yeah, I know. There were a bunch of rednecks we lived around out there, and they used to like to party in the clay pits, okay? I personally was not into partying and mudding, okay? How many of you have ever heard of mudding? I had never heard of, you gotta leave the G off, you gotta say mudding. They go mudding in the clay pits, okay? Never heard of it till I lived out there. Wouldn't have missed it either. So anyway, one night, we know that there's this crowd of kids who are like they're like the ones who are going to end up, if they hadn't already, they were the ones who were going to end up dropping out of school, and it was a given you'd find them partying in the clay pits. So we decided to go and kind of just see what they were doing. We didn't hang out with them, so I'm not sure why we had decided to go there in the first place, other than just kind of spy on them. I don't know, whatever. Teenager, I don't know what I was doing. So when we got out there, now you have to bear in mind there are all these little winding dirt roads, so you really can't see anyone coming until you're straight ahead, until the car is straight ahead coming out and you can see the headlights. You really can't see through the trees. These are tiny little dirt roads. I mentioned it in my other car video of it was fun to take the cars down these dirt roads and kind of fishtail and try not to hit trees. Now, these were tiny, winding dirt roads through the middle of the woods and on sand. And, yeah, it was fun to do that. So, anyway, they didn't see us coming. But we could see, because they were drunk, we weren't, and we had a vantage point, the way the clay pits were. They literally were big pits, and it was red clay, and there was a lake down in the middle. So some of these guys had these four-wheel drive trucks, and they could take them like almost in the middle of the lake, this little lake in the clay pits. So we saw that they had a bonfire going out there, and they were having a party. So we had the bright idea to call the fire department and tell them there was a fire in the clay pits. There was! Okay, so we did. Didn't have a cell phone back then. Yeah, I know. I'm dating myself again. This is 20-something years ago. We go into town, call the fire department, tell them there's a party in the clay pits. Fire in the clay pits. Then we go hauling butt back out there. We're going down this dirt road. And we backed down this little side, it wasn't a road, it's like a path, but we figured that we can back in, kill the lights on the car, and we could wait to see the fire department come and watch these other kids get in trouble because they're really just having a party out there. We're watching their party get busted. I was such a brat. Okay, now, tiny redneck town. This is a volunteer fire department. I seriously doubt they had many calls at all. I think the whole fire department came. Okay, long story short, we're sitting in the car backed down this road with the headlights off so nobody can see us. All of these cars, trucks, the 1 or 2 fire trucks they have, come out there, lights and sirens blaring, all came out because there was a fire in the clay pits, which I guess they took it seriously because it was surrounded by forest, and I guess it would have been a big deal, but oh man, we were so scared. We hauled butt out of there so fast, like, oh my God, we're going to get busted, and those were mean kids. They're going to kick our butts. I just don't think they ever found out who called the cops or the fire department on them, but I swear 10 cars must have gone by on their way to put out the fire in the clay pits. I didn't lie. Okay, that's my next car story. Not really a car story, but sort of. So you guys can keep posting your car videos if you have any stories. Keep it clean, because I know everybody's got car stories that they don't need to be telling. At least not on my channel. Okay? Bye.